Rock Around the Coast is one of the events that are being promoted under the Earth Festival. It's encouraging people to get out and enjoy the World Heritage Site. It's full length, and to do that in manageable sections and walks that take place over a whole course of weekends.
A few more people coming along.
I found out about it first in 2006. Over the years I've done all the sections, and this year I've done what I perceive to be the 5 best sections.
Well, we've been going on a coastal walk on Portland.
And her mum was the tall person.
It's about 4 miles long, 1.75 miles wide. It's a big limestone slab that's nicely tilted, so we're kind of heading down. This is our kind of highest point. Basically, the bit we're walking on is probably the cream, really, of Portland, in that I think it's something like 40% of the island is in SSSI, so all the edge bit is wildlife site. So we'll head off to the quarries first, all right?
Being part of the festival and this particular project, Rock Around the Coast, it means it gives us a great opportunity to promote Portland and to get more people out to enjoy it and see what it has to offer.
So at that stage, we were getting things like ammonites. And as we go round, we might actually see some. If you're really careful, look in the rocks, you might see some ammonites.
It started off really windy and cold, and then it started to rain.
We've actually got lines of chert in the rock here. As you go along the cliffs, we'll see it literally in rows, and that tends to come underneath the kind of really nice whip bed and base bed, which are the Portland stone beds that get taken out and head off to London.
We sheltered in a cave, a cave where the miners went through.
And there were loads
of different fossils through it.
Yeah, and swirly shelled things.
So we get out in some decent grass and we can have a look at some plants.
Well, this walk and the others in the series, you get one leader, and they all come from different backgrounds. Lynn today's a Portland Ranger.
Modern day quarrying now, obviously, they're just taking a lot more.
Other ones are National Trust, Natural England, quarry people who are expert on fauna and flora, and they all bring a knowledge to it which makes the walk so much more interesting.
I think you always learn something different. There's always different bits of wildlife around, or there's a different emphasis. If something gets your attention more than something else. And I think there's so much to learn that every time you do it, you continually learning more information or trying to put more information across.
Great views of Portland Harbour, and then you're looking out across towards the rest of the Jurassic Coast, and you can see the cliffs, and then out to Purbeck and St Albans Head at the end there. And out there is where the sailing will be happening. So there'd be quite a good place to come and watch it with good binoculars.
Then we carried on walking along the coast path. Then we joined another path and saw the goats.
Can you get it closer? Can you zoom in on it?
And we headed out to the coast and along through an area of weirs that's very beautiful, lots of land slippage and quarrying history and cliffs to look at.
Formers and peregrines along here, also ravens.
So I think it's a really magical area, and I think just being able to see a whole line of people sort of walking down and exploring that and enjoying that part of the island, and at some places where they've never been before, that's very satisfying, and I really enjoyed that section.
These parts are less explored.
I enjoy coming for the talking and the walking. Rock Around the Coast takes in the 95 miles of the Jurassic Coast, and doing the whole series, the 14 walks, you go from the red sandstone of Devon right through to the younger, newer Purbeck stone in Purbeck.
What do you think you've learnt today?
About different kinds of butterflies and flowers, and about what happened here a long time ago.
What did happen here a long time ago?
About the mines and the miners and how the rocks were formed in the shape they are now.
Well, for me, Portland is a bit special. It's all the different build-up of stone over the millennia.
So it's nice weather. You've just been walking for 4 hours, is that right?
Yeah.
So what's next?
We've got to walk
The
back to
next
the
half,
beginning.
which is back to the beginning.
And how are you feeling about that?
Tired.
Yeah, tired and exhausted, but we still have to go back and everything.
We're following the coast path, and some parts we were actually following new stretches of coast path that have come in as a result of the new coastal access rights. So that was very exciting. And we headed off from Portland Bill for a very different part of the walk. The west coast is much more rugged and wild, and it was very windy, and it felt very different. It's this little gentian here, but unfortunately it's not great for camera. They're closed up because it's not very nice. That's one of the reasons why the site's a special area of conservation. And as we work on the island, then we can perhaps give people an insight into other things that are going on the island. A lot of people who do come know an awful lot, but perhaps there's a few things that we can actually point out that perhaps people wouldn't have noticed if they'd been walking on their own.
We've only come 7 miles, so we've got a little bit left to go on our walk.
Are you looking forward to it finishing?
Yes. Hi, Bob! Because my feet are hurting.
Well, we've been round Portland, about 9-10 miles-ish. We're now in Tank Quarry, which has got a lot of passageways through, and quite a few of them are decorated with carvings, perhaps little known as an Anthony Gormley.
The Rock Around the Coast project is trying to get more people who perhaps wouldn't normally come out and enjoy wildlife. In sites like Portland, perhaps they haven't realised what it's got to offer, and that's what we're hoping to do through things like this. It's all about accessing nature and encouraging more people to get out and enjoy nature, basically.